what you hear. I put on my jewelry just to go to the bodega, and I keep it.
Niajeni say what's gens? What's gens? Si gens. There's this word for people. Nimestafuta online. Nilisema acha nitafute jina za watu. Jina like si jina ya mtu mmoja, jina for calling people. Nikapata ingine inaitwa gens. Jo. Oh, inaitwa jo, but inasemwa gens. Imagine nilienda Google nikatafuta how do you call people, how do you say people in Jamaican language? Kumbe Jamaicans speak English. Mpaka kama kuna mtu angekuwa anasoma hizo vitu za Google angesema yenyewe huyu ni wa wapi umse. Anyway, so karibuni. Leo sijapika chai, hakuna chakula, so hakuna haja ya nini ya chumvi ya chakula msikuje. No, that doesn't make sense. So I came across this documentary about food, how food affects your brain, and I thought it's good if I talk about it. So yeah. So apparently, foods rich in, okay, like this has been said so many times, that foods rich in sugar and foods rich in fats affect your body, because your body tends to have an inflammation if you take foods rich in sugar and foods rich in fats. But apparently there is something else that high content of sugar and fats does to your body, to your brain, actually, to your brain. Now this is so important because it concerns your brain. Unaonanga watu wakichoka huko nje, unashanga kwani akili kidogo ilisema mpaka September. No, because there's an effect that foods rich in high content sugar and high fatty sugar affect your brain. So this is what happens. I did my research. This time nikafanya research. So apparently there's a part of your brain, it's like in the middle of the brain, it's called hypothalamus. It's a part of your brain called hypothalamus. So if you have high intake of sugar and fats, the body tends that threatens the immune system of your body, and the immune system tends to react to the threatening. So that's why you get people are obese, because the immune system is actually reacting to this high content of sugar and high content of fats. That's why the body's immune system is fighting this threatening by the food, and then the body tends to inflame, to furario, to grow big. So so when the body grows big, when you inflame, when you become obese, or you actually add unnecessary weight, there's a barrier on your brain veins. The brain has neurons, so like their blood vessels. Thank you. The blood vessels in the brain, they have some lining that's supposed to prevent molecules from filtering from your blood to inside the brain. So ukikula those when you eat those fatty foods, it actually damages this membrane that's in the blood vessels in your brain near the neurons. So actually molecules start to enter the brain, and then they affect the neurons. There are some cells in your brain called, I don't know, something cells, I can't remember the name very well, but those cells are supposed to eat the dead neurons. And then neurons are responsible for the transmission of the network of the brain, like to transmit information from one part to the other, like they form the network of the brain. So when this I don't know what the name was, meta something cells, but you can just research what cells are in charge of eating neurons, dead neurons in the brain, or I'll put the name somewhere if I get to find it. I will find it. I will put the name here. So those cells eat the dead neurons. So if this membrane is destroyed, the one that's in the blood vessels in the brain, then molecules start to enter into the brain, and then they find neurons. So the neurons, and then there are those other cells. So the cells start reacting. You see the way start reacting abnormally because that's not a condition they're supposed to be in. So they start actually consuming neurons that are alive. Na neurons zako zikikulwa kama ziko alive, unaanzanga kuchoma choma every time. Like your brain actually goes down. And then it's very important for us to take foods rich in amino acids and omega-3. So an experiment was done in Australia. Okay, imekuwa done in, I don't know, it was in France, some university in France, where I was looking at that university, and then I looked at like our University of Nairobi sits like our the national university. Yani laboratory ya hiyo university, it's called the University of, I'll put the name here, I've forgotten. It's like hey, you'd think if like you asked someone gani katikati hizi mbili is the lab. The whole of University of Nairobi, Chiromo campus, would be the lab. This lab for the school in France looks like a whole 3 universities. It's so big, ni glass. It really looks nice. But we love what we have. We have UN and KU, Machakos University, Kirinyaga University. But I was just mentioning, just by the way, I think the government can do better. So, but I'm not comparing. Okay, I'm comparing what is, but the government can do better. So they were doing a research on mice. Then this is in Sydney, Australia. So they fed some mice exclusively on junk foods, on easy fast food things, like what happens mostly in US. Like it's called a fast food. Like US is this a name, but like what were US most of the time they eat fast foods, not organic foods most of the time. So like these mice are fed with this inorganic products. Inorganic product. So ziko na high sugar, high fats. So what happens is these mice zinaacha kureact so fast to warning alarms. That's a disadvantage. But the main disadvantage is like an experiment was done. So like you put in the mice box, you put 2 cups. It's not see box kama hiyo unanunuanga maziwa mengi kwa pakiti, like those ones for labs. See box. So like you put 2 objects, maybe 2 cups inverted. So these mice, for the first time, how a normal mice is supposed to react, inafaa kuenda through the cups to study something new in the environment, because mice are rodents and rodents are curious in nature. So like it's supposed to look at the 2 cups and then it's supposed to like examine them, like kipande juu inuse and stuff. So what happens, easy mice is go fed exclusively on either high sugar, high fat, or a mixture of high sugar and high fat. Ukimove hizo cups, the mice, it's normally what's supposed to happen, achana na hizo high sugar, high fat. Normally the mice is supposed to examine, inafaa kujua gani imesonga cause iko na brain, so inafaa kujua hii lisonga, hii haijasonga cause like what, okay, now see the 2 objects have been put, so the mice is taken out temporarily for a short time, then one object is moved, assuming cups, then you return the mice inside. So this mice inside is supposed to only study the cup that's been moved, kwa sababu ingine it's supposed to remember this cup was here. So what happens, that's the normal behavior. But sasa hizi mice zimekuwa fed with high sugar and high fat content, zita study both ones nearly the same time, kumaanisha they can't remember. There's something called special memory, so their special memory is actually damaged, and then they are mostly a bit aggressive. Like they don't behave normally, they're a bit aggressive, like they don't react to danger. So that's weird because it's supposed to react on an alarm. And then there was also an experiment done on hamsters. You do know what hamsters are, Cindy? Yeah, so an experiment was done on hamsters, and these hamsters were fed exclusively. Okay, there were 2 types of like hamsters. So hamsters, they were once fed exclusively on corn ni mahindi. Sick corn man. I'm a corn lady. Ni like there's kuna hizi hamsters zilikuwa fed exclusively on corn, and then there was this other hamster that was fed exclusively, not exclusively, but on a diversified on diversified meals, like ilikuwa na zote. So this one that was fed purely on corn, mahindi, did not have a vitamin called B3. So that vitamin B3, it was lacking. Imagine these hamsters, the ladies were very they were acting distressed. The lady hamsters were very distressed. When they gave birth, they devoured their young ones within like a day after giving birth. That is abnormal. Those, I'm talking about the hamsters that zilikuwa fed on corn peke yake, like they were without B3. But when they started introducing B3 to the diets of these hamsters, of these female hamsters, before the B3 they were actually aggressive, but after the B3 they were actually walianza kukua calm. They started acting normal, less aggressive. They started taking care of their kids before they were devouring their kids in like one day. Yeah, which is not the normal thing. So but the hamsters that zilikuwa fed on a diversified meal zilikuwa sawa. So when they started introducing B3 to these hamsters that were fed exclusively on corn, these hamsters started acting normal. They started taking care of their kids, being more calm and everything. So it's very important that tuangalie kitu tunakula, because junk foods are not nice. They're okay once in a while, but they have an effect to the brain. They slow your brain. Also omega-3, what happens is you need omega-3 because the brain has fat, like the brain has the gray matter, the white matter. There's also a part of the brain that requires fats. Yeah, it has the meningitis, something like meninges, something like that. It has the white matter, it has the gray matter, it has the hypothalamus. So there's a part that also needs fats, has fats. So the omega-3 is supposed to produce that fat for the brain. The brain itself cannot, the body cannot. So like take more balanced diets. Try and take more balanced diets. Take foods with lesser sugar, lesser fat. What else are we supposed to do? We're supposed to also consume omega-3. Take a lot of vitamins, and then balanced diet. And yeah, because they can, in addition to like these brain diseases, these high foods, high sugars can cause diseases like diabetes and everything. So like I just felt like I should tell y'all about it because I discovered, and I thought it's something good to share with y'all. So next time, watch out for your health. You can drop down your comments below. Yeah, thank you for those who have subscribed. For those who haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe. Yeah, asanteni sana. And then you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Twitter at saltysugar.r, not dot, but .r, saltysugar.r. Hapo iko hapo. So asanteni sana, thank you for watching this video. See you next time. Wagwan. And then if you'd also like us to like talk about health once in a while, unaweza sema hapo kwa comment hizi.